Hi everyone! Welcome to my very first devlog for my very first game I'm designing, Firefighters Fighting Fires. I'm excited to talk about this game with you, and I would like to formally introduce myself to you. My name is Anna, and for the past 7 years, I have worked as a professional animator for TV. I've also started a coloring book brand that goes by 25 ABCs, where I'm creating 25 illustrations for every letter of the alphabet. Honestly, I have been drawing and producing and creating stories for as long as I can remember. Art and storytelling have been something that has dominated my entire life, and just recently I have transitioned into the game industry professionally, where I work as a creative designer for an indie game studio. See, my passion for video games is greater than my passion for animation. As a gamer myself, I've always been fascinated by the way games can tell stories and create immersive experiences. This is why I'm making Firefighters Fighting Fires. This is my very first game, and I can't wait to show you what I've been working on. So without further ado, let's get into this. So, what is Firefighters Fighting Fires? Well, it's an action-adventure beat-em-up game with farming, breeding, collecting, and crafting. We follow a family of firefighters who live above their planet in a fire hall. Earthland has been arid and dry for over 30 years. The only water source that can be found will come from the fire hall, where water is stored in a massive vat attached to it, by way of space ice. In this world, fire is the enemy. They will come in different shapes and sizes, and the big bosses will be in the form of anthropomorphic figures. The core of the game is to bring life back to the planet by defeating Embies, which is what I call these fire entities. So, I want to take you through my design process for the game. The first thing I did was think about the things that were influencing me to make a game in the first place. I mean, what would compel me to do such a thing? Yes, I love video games. Yes, I have the artistic ability to do so, but making a video game, it's a massive undertaking. But honestly, as someone who loves video games and storytelling and animation, I felt like this is something I have to do. As an animator, like so many artists, the magic that Studio Ghibli brought changed my worldview. That essence and that feeling is what I want to bring into the game on an artistic level. As a gamer, games like Red Dead Redemption, Stardew Valley, Cult of the Lamb, to name a few, motivated me to create something new because I found myself constantly dissecting these games while I played them. From navigating and studying their inventory systems, plain old exploring the world, learning about the wildlife, crafting, farming, harvesting. Honestly, all of these things is what created the conceptualization of Firefighters Fighting Fires. Once my inspiration sprouted the thought, I kicked into my storytelling mode and went ahead to start with the core of the game, or the statement of purpose. In this case, it's bringing the world back to life. To supplement the core, I came up with some additional features that I want to add to the game. Character development, NPCs, quests, gear, environments, and enemy types. All of these things are meant to strengthen the idea of bringing the world back to life. Granted, these are all systems I'm considering, but may or may not eventually be a part of the game. After I created a rough concept of the game, I began to conceptualize the characters and the world they inhabit. I went through multiple iterations of my characters before I was satisfied with them, and I'm really happy that I can finally talk about them. These guys will be the main cast of Firefighters Fighting Fires. They are going to be the ones who save the world. First, we have Heavy Man, also known as Dad. Heavy Man's role will act as a tank role. This is the character that the player will primarily be controlling, as he is the one who will be carrying the hose. He takes the most damage and will be the slowest, but the idea here is that he's not overpowered. Otherwise, everyone will only want to play him. Second, we have Light Lady, also known as Mom. Light Lady's role will act as the DPS. She's fast, nimble, and dexterous. She carries an axe. The idea here is that her playstyle will allow players to navigate and explore the world in a really fun and exciting way, all while kicking some serious butt. Thirdly, we have Medic, also known as the Kid. Medic's role is, well, they're a medic. They'll have the lowest HP, and they will always have to hang back, as they have no offensive skills and the only things that they carry are a med and a stamina spray to use on mom and dad to heal and invigorate them. Lastly, but certainly not least, we have Buff Dog, also known as the Goodest Girl. Buff Dog's role is to act as a support. This is the only character that the player will not be able to play unless I change my mind, and the idea is that she will buff the party, literally and figuratively, by barking at them. She'll also act as a guide dog. In order to get to our next objective, we're going to have to follow her. Oftentimes when we have animals in video games, they don't really do much except kind of tag along, but with Buff Dog, I want her to have some sense of artificial intelligence. Overall, I'm pretty happy with these characters. I haven't really figured out how I'm going to balance their behaviors and playstyles, but that's going to be a future me problem to think about. For now, I'm happy with the roles in this game. The main enemy type in the game will be fire. They will come in different shapes and sizes, and the majority of what we're going to see in the world will be regular old fires. Boss and heavy types will be more anthropomorphic in their nature, dripping with magma and made of mulch and lava. As for the world we're going to be playing in, it is known as Earthland. Earthland was once a vibrant little world with different biomes and areas for the player to explore. Unfortunately, something catastrophic happened, leaving the whole planet arid and dry. However, by the end of the game, the player will go from a dry, arid planet to a lush, vibrant one. There will be 6 biomes that the player will get to explore and return to at any point in time. We will have the forest, the desert, the plains, the mushroom, and the volcano biomes. Each biome will have its own number of flora and fauna to collect, to replant, and repopulate the world with. I'll get into more detail about the farming, breeding, collecting, and crafting systems that are influenced by Earthland in a different video, but for now I just want you to know that those are the things I'm planning to create. So yeah, that's what I'd like to share with you for this video. I realize the scope of this game is already insanely massive, but I have a lot of great ideas for them and I really want to execute them no matter how long this takes. It's a lot of planning and organizing, but I think once I establish the essence of the game, everything will get easier. In the coming devlogs, I will be sharing more updates on the game, including conceptualization, designing, animating, new features, gameplay mechanics, or ideas I've scrapped will also be something I talk about. Right now, however, I'm going to be taking it one step at a time, focusing on setting myself up for success as much as possible before I really start to produce these things in the game. I hope this gave you a bit of insight on my design process and what I have planned for Firefighters Fighting Fires. If you're someone who's interested in making a game, maybe you can take this format and apply it to yourself. I'm super excited to start this journey, and I'm really glad you're here with me. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. As of right now, all things Firefighters Fighting Fires will only be on my YouTube channel or my Instagram at Anushi. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next devlog.